Patch notes incoming, everybody. Do we get our pitchforks or do we throw our hats in the air out of happiness? Stay tuned to find out. Greetings, everybody. My name is TTB. Welcome back to Mechwarrior Online. Today, we have something to talk about, patch notes. And these patch notes actually have a little bit of meat on the bones. There's some stuff coming our way, and some of it is very positive, some of it might not be as positive. Let's talk about them, shall we? Now, this was posted earlier today. It's a long post, but I want to spend as much time as possible on it so that we can go ahead and get the proper intel, weigh the choices, and then of course open it up to the live stream, because this is being recorded while there is a live studio audience, quote unquote, of people that are currently watching and talking. There you see them. And yeah, well, let's talk about them. So, March 2021 patch notes. The patch is gonna hit on March 16th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so that is March 17th. Actually no, that's still March 16th, about 7 p.m. European time, and size to be determined. Okay, that's fine. The March patch is upon us, and with that, the final patch of the first quarter of 2021. As we reflect on our progress so far, we are happy that we've been able to get the ball rolling, this is just me quoting, on MWO development with very limited resources. I think that's a key issue right here, or a key point. They have had very limited resources so far. That being said, we have a couple of disappointments in regards to this patch. After examining the match score for AMS, we did determine it needed a reduction. However, in pursuing that change, we discovered that we need to do more work on the overall match scoring system, agreed, in order to accommodate that change. Therefore, we will be bumping that to Q2. Okay. Second disappointment comes with the spawn point fixes to the Tourmaline map. Although they've stated this for Q2 on the roadmap, we were really hoping to get this fixed out the door this month. I applaud them for trying to get it done. Unfortunately, they encountered problems, and although we tried up until the last hour of the availability video on Friday, they were unable to solve the issue to make the patch. So that's the bad news. The good news, everyone, is that they've hired a level designer who will be joining the MWO team starting today. So there's going to be a full-time dedicated team member who will not only fix Tourmaline but address additional maps with spawn point issues and begin the work of improving existing map design, pathing, and cover. Here is one important bit of feedback I would have. Also, please look at little doodads on the ground that serve no purpose but will stop mechs cold, like little traps that you can move yourself into that are basically death traps, but you don't see them as such because you only realize it when you walk into them. So that's also something I would like to see at that point. Then we will be introduced to that new team member soon, but he's supposed to have great experience, including working with CryEngine, very nice, and he plays MWO, very good. Here's my little bit of feedback for that. Everybody that is involved with changing the game, with making decisions, implementing things that will change the game and how it's played, needs to be playing the game. Heck, if it was me at the helm, everybody that is at the company would have to be able to play the game regularly, because people need to be on board. They need to understand what they're actually doing, and you can only do that as a player of your own game. So that's a good thing. Shifting focus to Q2, more critical components for the MWO roadmap coming up, more intel gathering, forum posts, more vlogs, more podcasts, more social media requesting input on mech rescale, quirks, agility, spawn point fixes, map changes, jump jets, balance changes, new player experiments, improvements, solo group, AV8, yada yada yada. That's gonna happen. More dev and streamer hunts, yes. Free Grasshopper mech. Do check out my videos on the Grasshopper, how to get that, and also the amazing builds that we've done so far, and they were pretty nuts. So watch those German mech engineering videos if you haven't done so yet. Looking forward to gaining experience with each patch, continuing to grow the MWO team, and increasing the efficiency and output each quarter. Okay, so what they're saying is they're gonna get more resources. For example, that new full-time person. Okay, good. Striker pack coming in April, we know about that. They're looking forward to the attention MWO 5 will be receiving in the coming months. Yeah, we'll see if people will find MWO as a result, would be nice. Looking forward to making as many fixes, updates and changes to MWO as fast as they can. And keep the continued input coming. Sincerely, the MWO team. Okay. Alright, so far, nothing bad, right? Now let's talk about the changes. weapons balance changes pass 1. Prior to this patch, the last gameplay balance adjustments were done when Moses was carving the 10 commandments onto a stone tablet. 2019 June was the last time we saw any balance patch. So, they wanted to go big with the limited resources they had available to them. That might have been a mistake. They want to shake things up in a way that will be seen as a more aggressive change than something that they've made typically in the past. Okay, so they want to make a bold move. Alright. Due to the nature of such changes, we'll be monitoring performance, metrics, and getting direct feedback from the players, yada yada yada. So basically, we're going to do something bold. We're not sure whether you'll like it or not. Let us know. Okay. So here come the changes. They're playing with the PPC lineup in a way that to give them more overall design space to find a niche for the many PPC subtypes in the game and promote different overall battlefield roles. To this end, they're providing the baseline PPC a 20% boost in upfront damage, so PPC damage 20% up, at the expense of 20% less overall DPS. So increasing the cooldown by a lot. The ultimate goal is to better reward the PPC players that successfully play their weapon strength, but also open them up a little bit more to natural counterplay when pressed by more close-range focused mechs. If you look at the changes right here, across the board, it's going to be damage increase by 2, heat increase by 1 to 2, cooldown increase massively, and the velocity increase. I don't have a problem with the velocity increase. I don't have a problem with damage increases. I just don't think the heat increase is particularly good because PPCs were hot as fuck already. And the cooldown increase, I fear it's gonna turn PPCs into a snooze fest. Into a pretty big snooze fest. I mean, 4.5 seconds up to 6 seconds? 6 seconds. Is that really how long you want to wait between shots? I don't know. I mean, on the plus side, if you hit a triple ERPPC cockpit hit, you would probably instantly kill somebody because that's 36 damage to a cockpit. However, you will never know, of course, because there is no indicator, so unless you have that guy targeted, you will never know. That's one of the changes that I am asking for, by the way. Cockpit kill indicator. Well then, so, if you look at this, I don't know. I mean, I guess I understand what they're trying to do. They say PPCs should fill specific roles, right? But I'm wondering, like, the light PPC, for example. 7.25 seconds cooldown at basically no damage. Like, what is this? What kind of role is this supposed to fill? I wonder. I don't know. I don't think that fills any role. I think the snub-nosed PPC was in a relatively okay spot where you had that kind of like a shotgun quote-unquote PPC. Increasing damage on that I would agree with, but the cooldown is just insane. And it's already limited by its range, right? What I'm not seeing here, what I would have liked to see is removing the minimum range on Inner Sphere heavy PPC. For example. I don't think that needs to have a minimum range, same thing with normal PPC. If it has minimum range, it needs to be a lot better in other regards, right? So if it has minimum range, then maybe it should be substantially cooler or something. I don't know. Just spitballing here, these are the changes that are gonna hit us tomorrow, so if you agree with them or not agree with them, voice them towards PGI. In a respectful manner, guys, that's also very important. Let's keep the discussion civil. Even if you don't agree with the change, let PGI know that you don't agree with the change, but do so in a friendly and constructive way. Don't attack people, and do not just shit the bed. Come on, guys, let's keep the discussion going and keep it friendly. Because I have been asking for bold changes. This is a bold change. Do I like this change? On paper already? No. At least as far as I'm looking at energy, nah. PPCs are already hot, increasing the heat and increasing the cooldown, yeah. It's gonna turn them into a snooze fest, I feel. Let's look at ballistics. With reinforcing PPCs, we want to apply similar changes to the Gauss rifle and help the light Gauss rifle to better compete in this space. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this sentence in a sec here. So, Gauss rifles, same thing, 2 damage up, a little bit of heat up, and the cooldown up from 5 to 7. So, again, this idea of shooting less. So, I think you won't feel that as much on Pop-Tarts. Same thing with the PPC changes, but on everything else that is just relying on walking around and shooting targets, you're kind of now in this poker sniper role, and putting them on normal mechs is not as fun anymore. I mean, let's say for example, take the Gauss Warhammer, 4 medium lasers, 6 medium lasers, and Gauss. All of a sudden, you have like 7 seconds in between shots. 7 seconds is a long time. In 7 seconds against the Dakar boat, it's gonna kill you. So, I don't know. Heavy Gauss rifle gets a health increase. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And no other changes. Okay, that's good. Light Gauss rifle. Damage increase. Heat increase. Cooldown increased by a factor of 2. They want to help the light Gauss to better compete in this space. And they decided to double the cooldown on light Gauss. Now, light Gauss was a utter garbage weapon before that, and it's gonna be worse now. I mean, 5.25 seconds on a weapon that does 11 damage. An AC-10, an AC-2 is gonna do more, if I'm not completely mistaken. I don't know. So, nope. I don't think that's a good change here. Then look at all the autocannons. Velocities are going to be increased across the board by, what is it, about 10% here? 10, 15? I like that they're increasing autocannon 20 and autocannon 10. Also clear autocannon 20. Velocity changes, those are nice. AC-20 has always felt to be too slow to me. I would have actually liked this to be a little bit faster, but okay. Small increase, I agree with that. I just wonder if all of this Gauss changing, aka nerfing, is going to cause us to see even more AC-2 boats standing in spawn and sniping at people. Like lots of 3-man or 4-man groups are doing at the moment, right? Missiles. Spread decrease on MRM 10s and increase of the missile health for 10s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Wholeheartedly agree. MRMs are non-guided missiles, and I think they need to have a little bit more health. I would like to see the same buff to happen on SRMs, and actually a little bit more substantial on SRMs. Strix as well as normal SRMs, because you have to get very close to get these going. So this is one where I would say this one has my support. MRMs, no issues. At least none that I can see right now. Maybe somebody else sees an issue, but I like this. Now, equipment. MASC. In the early days of MASC, due to technical limitations, it was introduced as a more of a raw mobility boost as opposed to a pure speed boost. They've decided to tune this piece of equipment to be more focused on sprint speed boost rather than a mobility boost. So, what's going to happen is MASC is going to last twice as long now, but it's going to have its boost to mech turn rates significantly reduced. So, MASC lasting twice as long, wholeheartedly agree. I think it's a really good change, definitely need it, and that sounds like fun. But what I don't understand is you're applying something that's going to be fun, and then you're taking a lot of the fun away again. Because let's look at a mech like the Kodiak that has been destroyed by engine desync, and now with the Spirit Bear, you're also going to take away the turn rate improvement, making this thing even more slower now. Again, as a brawler, I don't know. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't think the MASC. I think this here, longer usage time on MASC, love it. The rest, hate it. Honestly, hate it. Don't think that's a good change. Only this here, MASC meter fill rate reduced by 50%. Like it. The rest, nope. Okay, now that this first weapons and equipment changes have been implemented, we will be engaged in community directly to determine where we go from here. Next patch is just around the corner. Go ahead, try it out, try the new settings, and give the feedback. Okay? Tell us what we got right, what we got wrong, and what you think you should do next. Please make your posts respectful and useful and not just do what Gulag says or similar sentiments. Well, here's the thing though. Do everything Gulag says is a respectful and useful post that says, I think that what is in there should be tried out. So do everything Gulag says. I don't think that's a reasonable statement from your community. So I don't think you should discourage that. Especially since Gulag, you guys have been working with Gulag in the past as well. You're talking to them. I know you're in connection with them. So, I mean, it's oversimplifying things, of course. I would have formulated this a little bit differently, maybe. What they're saying is they're looking for feedback on the changes they're making, and specifically on the changes they're making, and not just messages that tell them, hey, do this, what's in this document. Okay. Now, before we jump into everything else on the patch, let's jump into this window right here. This is from the Gulag Proposal, back in the day, right? And let's talk about what they were proposing for PPCs. Whoop, wrong buttons were pressed, hang on. Here we go. So, what ended happening is PPC, damage slide up, heat up, cooldown up, velocity up. Here's what Gulag said. Decreased heat, for lights, decreased heat, decreased cooldown. Cooldown was almost doubled, heat was increased, no heat scale limit. Heat scale limit wasn't touched. Standard PPCs. Like the speed increases were done, and I agree with the speed increases, those are not bad, but the heat scale limit, the heat penalties were not touched. The heat was increased as opposed to what Gulag said, decreased heat. So this is where PGI, I think, went, as far as everything but the speed is concerned, they went completely the other way than what Gulag was recommending. Well, I mean, it's gonna happen in the patch, so we're gonna have to try it out to see what we think about it, and then, as I said, voice our feedback. And if you guys end up not liking it, make sure that PGI understands that you do not like these specific changes. In a respectful and friendly manner, because that's how we should treat other human beings. Yeah, the other guys over there at PGI, even if they're fucking up at some points, and they have done so in the past, and they will have problems in the future, that's normal, that's happening. Let's keep it civil, guys, let's keep it friendly. Okay, anything else here? Is there anything for autocannons? Increase autocannon speeds, okay, those were done, alright. Heat decrease were not looked at, okay. Anything about jam changes was not touched, cooldowns were not touched, heat wasn't touched for the autocannons. Is there anything about the Gauss rifles? I want to just have a quick look here. Okay, so Gulag says increase light Gauss damage, increase optimal range, increase cooldown slightly, and decrease ammo per ton. And unlink from Ghost Heat. So you could shoot 4 at the same time. Yeah. And at that point you need a cooldown increase, because otherwise you're gonna shoot 40 damage at 2.6 seconds each, which would be insane. What did they say about Gauss? Increase weapon health, increase weapon health. That is what PGI did. They increased the weapon health. Good. For normal Gauss, they said increase max range to 2000. I don't think that happened. Speed change happened, right? Let's go back here. Nope, just damage. Damage and heat, and increase of cooldown. So, cooldown increase was not mentioned on the Gulag document. Range increase was mentioned, that was not done. And the cooldowns were just significantly increased. So, let's compare the light Gauss rifles here, right? Light Gauss is going to be 11 damage, 0.75 heat, 5.25 cooldown. Gulag said 10 damage, more range, no ghost heat, 3.5 seconds cooldown. So it shoots half as fast as what Gulag recommends, at 1 damage more. Yeah. It's gonna be dead on arrival, this gun, in my opinion. Light Gauss was bad, now it's even worse, in my opinion. But guys, go ahead, test it out, and make up your own opinions. Do not just, this is an important thing, for everything in life. No matter how much you like somebody, no matter how much you like a streamer, a personality, a celebrity, put what they say to the test. Don't just blindly drink the Kool-Aid, even my personal Kool-Aid. right? Make up your own minds. Think for yourselves. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about new Trial Mechs. There's a couple of new Trial Mechs coming in, and if you're watching this on mobile, maybe you want to watch this on a bigger screen, but I'm going to go over these builds here real quick. So, new Trial Mech Commander 1 Delta, SRM 4 build, 4 tons of SRM ammo, light engine 200. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe a relatively slow commander, I'm not sure, I can't see the full stats here. What I'm seeing is the tonnage is at 24.9, and there's armor missing, which is a little bit weird. There's armor missing on the CT. And the tonnage is at 24.9. There must be a mistake. Ferrofibers, double heat sinks, and steel. Okay. I mean, it should be a solid little brawler, commando, whatever. But this armor, I think, needs to be fixed. Next up is going to be a Jenner Foxtrot. We've got an XL280, we've got 4 jump jets, we've got 6 medium lasers. Alright. What I would have liked to see with the Jenner is an armor increase on the arms as a quirk, but that's a different story. Light ferro, double heat sinks. Yeah. I mean, this looks okay on paper. A little bit too much back armor for my tastes. But looks okay on paper. I'm not that familiar with the Jenner though, it might just be way too hot, I'm not sure. Then, coming up next is the Adder. It's not going to have arm actuators, so it's not going to be able to do this. It's just going to be up and down with the arms. We've got double ERPPCs and a lot of heatsinks, and all the heatsinks are in the arms. Now, you guys know me. The arms don't have much health. I mean, the torsos are also prone to falling out, but I would have liked to see those heatsinks in the torso instead of the arm, and I don't like the fact that the additional heatsink right here is in the left arm as opposed to the right arm. With the way that how spawn points work right now, you're most of the time going into a counterclockwise movement. That means that your left arm is towards the enemy, so let's get shot more. So this extra double heatsink is more at risk in the left arm than it is in the right arm. 1 armor on the cockpit, I don't know if that's healthy or not, we'll find out. 4 back armor, I agree with. Legs lowered down to basically nothingness, yikes, I don't know if that's so good. Could be a little bit dangerous. There might have been a better mech though for this kind of build with PPCs, right? I don't know. This doesn't seem to be the best PPC mech for a trial mech. Let's look at the Jenner 2C. We've got quad SRM6, 4 jump jets, XL265, double heatsink in here, right arm, no armor. Once again, it's a left-sided build in a game that punishes left sides on mech more than right sides, and it's got 6 back armor. If that was 4 back armor, I would be okay with it. 6 seems to be excessive. As far as ammo is concerned, we've got, what is it, 5.5 tons of ammo. That should be plenty. If those SRM6s were over here on the right arm, I think it would be better. Other than that, I don't have any issues with that on the first glance. I'm just going over this really quickly here, guys. If I missed something, let me know. Medium Mechs, Crab 27 Bravo. What is one of the main strengths of a Crab? AMS. What does this mech not have? AMS. Not cool, in my opinion. It should have AMS. 6 back armor is okay-ish. Got a lot of double heatsinks, got ferrofibers, endless steel, standard 270 engine, so you can zombie with it. That's fine. I would have liked to see a double heatsink and a little bit of armor shaved off the legs, maybe, or the 2 double heatsinks removed and AMS added for this. Also, another big question mark: remove the double heatsink and add AMS plus 1 ton of ammo, because there's half a ton missing. Like, why would you have a trial mech that is 49.5 out of 50? That makes no sense. So this should be an AMS system and 1 ton of ammo in here, in my opinion. Moving on, Trench Bucket 7M. LRM 15s and 2 medium lasers and a tag. And an XL255. I don't think necessarily that Trial Mechs... I don't know if Trial Mechs should have XL engines. It's got plenty of ammo, sure. 2 medium lasers and the tag, yeah, okay. But I would have liked to see this as an MRM build or something. Like, why does it have to be LRMs? It's got a Beagle probe in there though, that's not bad, but why LRMs? Why not MRMs? And lasers would have been more interesting in my opinion. That's a little bit weak on the jump jets, but yeah. I would have liked to see MRMs. It's not a horrible build. It's probably usable. It's gonna have some nice crooks for it. Stormcrow. Okay, what do we have? What is this thing? What is this thing? 2 LERM 20s, light probe, tag, and yeah, small lasers. And LERM ammo. Guys, people hate LERMs enough already. Why do we have a secondary LERM mech here? Why not have a laser boat, Stormcrow? I don't know. I mean, it's got all the systems that you quote-unquote need. You've got long-range LERMs, you've got your tag, you've got a light active probe, and you've got your small lasers for like pinpoint defense. Like, I don't even find an issue with that as much. Still. Also, why is this 8 rear armor on the CT and 6 on the rest? That should all be 6 in my opinion. But yeah, why so much LERMs? Let's move to the Shadowcat Prime. Okay, now we got a double PPC Shadowcat with ECM. Here is the thing that I want to mention. These mechs don't have a skill tree. So that ECM, this isn't Hugo Boss ECM. This is literally Chinese counterfeit made in Bangladesh. That ECM is not going to be worth its name. So people will get a completely different idea of what ECM actually does. Also, rear CT armor 4, side torso armors 6. Why? Like, just keep it consistent. I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a similar build that I use. I would just put these rear armors to 4 and be done with it. Should be usable. Just be aware that ECM is not going to do anything for you. That's going to be hot. It doesn't have skill points, right? Next up, Grasshopper. I seem to remember this build. I think if you guys watch the channel, you also remember this build. So here is where the train wreck happens. Who the hell thought that 15 and 17 back armor is a good idea? So whoever built these mechs, what I would recommend, at least for these armor values, is you please send them to German mech engineering so they can understand how to properly build mechs. This is just way too much back armor on a Grasshopper. Way too much. I mean, I can understand going for a light engine here instead of like an XL engine, be a bit safer for newer players. Okay, that's fine. Lowering the armor on the arms, also fine. But this 15 back armor? Hell no! That's a big foobar here. That's a super big foobar. The next super big foobar is, of course, guys, you know this build is quite spicy. It's gonna get even more spicy with the changes. Not only is it gonna shoot less, when it's shooting, it's gonna shoot a lot more spicy. So, and that is not with any skill points. So no heat reduction, no heat gen, no points in cool run or anything else. This is gonna be a spicy one. So, yeah, not happy with this one. Absolutely not happy with this one, especially with the armor. Warhammer 6 Delta. Now this is a build I could get behind. This is a build that I like. Slight question mark at the tonnage, but I guess you can't do it any better than this. You've got 6 medium lasers, 3 large pulses, light engine 300, a couple of double heat sinks. This should be a fun build to play. There's no ghost heat in here, it's a nice alpha strike, the armor is mostly up front. It's a lot of back armor still, but people will not have a big problem with that. Again, on paper looks good. It's gonna be toasty though. It's gonna be very toasty because it doesn't have skill points or cool shot. So, not bad, but potentially very toasty. Hellbringer. Oh, okay. Now we're in meta territory here, guys. ECM Hellbringer, 4 mediums, 2 heavy larges. That is full-on meta build. Okay. I could have just cannibalized the armor a little bit more, maybe get another double heatsink and whatnot, but it's not really needed. This looks okay to me. It has too much back armor in my opinion. 10 back armor CT, 8 back armor side torso. It's too much. Just go 6 each or 7 each at tops max, and that's gonna be it. Same problem again. No skill points, so ECM is gonna be ghetto, and those lasers are going to be very, very toasty. Onion 2C Alpha. It's finally back. The original fun brawling mech. Quad SRM6 with Artemis, LB20, ample ammo, XL360 engine. I don't have any issues with that, except it's a little bit too much back armor. 706 back armor would have been fine, but other than that, this is going to be a fun mech to play. And I think as far as the trial mechs go, this is going to be the most fun and also the best trial mech all around, in my opinion, from what I've seen so far. Yeah, so if you're a new player, keep this mech in mind. It's a hell of a brawler. Now we come into Assault Trial Mechs, and the choices were Mauler, Stalker, Direwolf, and Warhawk. Okay, that's a little bit of a weird choice, but okay. The Mauler is going to be an AC2 sniper build. Light engine 320, 6 AC2s. What is that? 8 tons of ammo. Okay. Armor looks okay, like no issues there. You could have lowered the arms a little bit more and added more ammo in or something, maybe. Bigger engine, I don't know. It doesn't look horrible. It's just that this mech is not a mech to play for newer players, in my opinion. It's not easy to pull off. I know all about the Mauler of Love, trust me. It's not easy to pull off, so yeah, I would have liked to see something different here. Stalker 3F, double MRM40s and 6 medium lasers. Standard 295 engine, ammo 5 tons, that's fine. Problem here being is without skill points, this is gonna be a hella hot. And again, it's a trial mech, and you have double MRM40s in there. These will cause ghost heat. You have a mech that's running hot already because it doesn't have skill points. So I would have liked to see 30s here and maybe a bigger engine or something. I mean, the build is not bad at all. It's just you gotta be careful with the ghost heat. Moving on, Direwolf W. Now this is a powerful build, double UAC 10 and triple UAC 5. But look how the build is made. It's a left-armed build once again. Why? Again, we've identified the left side is gonna get shot first in a rotator-potato situation, which happens a lot. And even if it's not rotator-potato, the enemy lights, if they're just pushing in on you when you're trying to get to your team, they're gonna shoot your left side. It's always the same story, guys. So this needs to be in the right arm, in my opinion. Other than that, it's got enough ammo, it's got some cooling, that's nothing else wrong with it. Would love to see the armor a little bit lower than that. 7 or 6 back armor would be fine, but other than that, if this was in the right arm, it would have been a really good mech. Remember, Mech Lab is mirrored? What do you mean? Yeah, this is the left arm. That's what I'm saying. It even says left arm here. Tilt. Okay, chat is scrambling my brains right now, guys. Okay, moving on. Warhawk Charlie. Double ERPPC, double large pulse lasers. Targeting computer, double heatsinks galore. Okay, well, that's an interesting one. Because I have not seen this particular build before and I want to try it. I get the idea. You've got the large pulses to poke at longer range and you've got the ERPPCs. With this kind of setup, you don't run any ghost heat. I would like to see that point in the lower arm actuator for sure, because you've got an empty slot here. You can use the lower arm actuator. Rest looks good. Potentially interesting. Would have to try it out. But yeah, we'll have to see how these builds in the end turn out. I'll let you know which ones I like, which ones I think are a little bit problematic, and I think some of them need a little bit of adaptation. Specifically that crab, for example, at 49.5 tons, that literally screams, give me AMS. And as I said, guys, a couple of times already, trial mechs need to come with full skill trees intact. They should also come with one cool shot and a UAV, but they need to come with a full skill tree, a proper skill tree, because otherwise you cannot really try these mechs. You don't know how they're going to perform, because there's a big difference between full skill tree and no skill tree. Alright, moving on. Bolt-on changes. Now I'm gonna get salty. Some bolt-ons now fall off. Badass blades, jet engines, helipads, angel wings, collapsed angel wings, head trophies, drills, and chainsaws. Why? Why? Because some mech dad with his, I don't know, whatever controls, and his 3D environment thinks that those chainsaws on the Annihilator are guns? Honestly, as I said before, I think you guys were on the right path here, PGI. Just make it so all bolt-ons stay on forever, and if people don't want to see bolt-ons, they click the little button and no bolt-ons get shown. Problem solved. Instead, you chose to open up the side battle where you say, okay, some will fall off, some won't. It's just bullshit. Because if those fall off now, again, like, what is this now? Are we doing bolt-on racism now? Like some of them are just not as cool as the others? That's why they have to fall off? Are you prepared to refund people that have bought these bolt-ons in the past because they don't stay on? Therefore, they don't show up for the full duration of the match, which is unfair compared to the other ones that do show up for the full duration of the match. Like, have you really thought this through? In my opinion, bolt-ons, make it simple, guys, make it simple. Bolt-ons stay on if people don't like them, global deactivation setting, client side, be done with it. Okay, moving on. Into movie changes. Reduced the opening login sequence video in volume. Replaced the video, lower volume. Hopefully saving all our ears. Okay, good change. Good change. But seriously, bolt-ons? No. This is just, guys, why? Why? Like, do not listen to every beggar on the forums. Don't try to make everyone happy. With this, you're making more people unhappy than you make happy, I guarantee it. You're making me unhappy. I want my chainsaws to stay on. And if some person has a problem with that and mistakes my chainsaws for weapons, direct them to the mech lab, where they can learn about what mechs can actually run which loadouts. It's not my problem that the guy thinks that my chainsaws are going to rip him apart. Although I would like to do that. Okay, moving on. Level design. Caustic Valley. The lights are back on Caustic Valley. Very nice. Because at the previous lighting system, you could not see jack shit, so that's a good change. We're back in the good old sulfuric vapors of Caustic Valley. And Hibernal Rift is also getting its lighting changed, finally. After the... I'm sure some of you people remember the first version of Hibernal Rift, which was so bright that you could literally get a tan in front of your PC. That was then tuned down to so you don't get a tan instantly anymore, but it's still gonna hurt your eyeballs. And now finally it gets lowered down a little bit. You can see a lot more grays coming in, a little bit of a blues coming in. I like that. It's a lot more muted now. This is gonna look a lot better in my opinion. And that is all she wrote for this patch. Now you already heard me give my feedback. I think there's some good things in here. I also think there's some bad things in here. Specifically speaking, the energy, PPC and Gauss changes I do not support right now on paper. We're gonna try them out and we'll see how it goes. I think it's not gonna go well, but we're gonna try them out. And if our fears get confirmed, then the right thing to do is to let PGI know that this doesn't feel good and that they should revert those changes or try out the stuff that Gulag was suggesting in its place and see how that goes. I wholeheartedly disagree about the MASC changes, except the MASC duration increase, as I've already said. MASC duration increase, really good. The movement penalty, like the turn penalty, really bad. It's gonna further destroy mechs like the Spirit Bear. You guys still haven't gone back to addressing the engine desync issues, so this is gonna be hurting my favorite Big Bear even more. Yeah, as you can see, boost turns reduced. Actually to a negative value. So actually MASC will make it even slower to turn. Yeah, no. Just no. Just no. MASC was always supposed to be a mobility increase, and that includes turn speed increase. It's a fun tool to use. Increasing the duration makes it more fun. Decreasing the mech agility from it, the turn agility from it, makes it unfun again. No. Just no. Not a fan. So yeah. Leaves a bittersweet taste in my mouth. Trial Mech changes. Some good stuff in here, some not so good stuff. But not bad overall. Again, a couple of small changes, and I would be happy with that. And intro plus map lighting adaptations, wholeheartedly agree with that. And that is going to be it from me, guys. Now, let's turn it to the floor and see what people have to say about this patch so far. So, guys, what do you think of this patch? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What is your main takeaway from this? I'm gonna address, if you have questions, just shoot them my way. We're gonna address them right now. Killian saying Rip Moku's awesome. I can understand that. Pulled on some common sense. Please explain the ECM. The ECM has a base value and two skills that increase this base value as how effective ECM is. So, hang on, that's not the right mech. I need a mech with ECM. There we go. So, for example, this Guardian ECM right here has a target range reduction of 30%, and with skills you get it to 45%. There's a huge difference in how far away a target needs to be from you in order to be able to target you. So yeah. That skill needs to be here for any kind of mech that runs this kind of setup. I mean, if we go to the grasshopper, for example, maybe we can showcase this here real quick. Let's load the build that we had for heavy PPC and lasers, if I have it still here somewhere. Okay, we don't have it, that's not a problem, we can just build it here real quick. So they're using a light engine 300, right? I'm going to build the same build here. I think it was a light 300 build. Doesn't need to be perfect. Actually, it should be fairly close to what we have in there. So there were 2 heavy PPCs. Okay. What else did we have? We just put this on the other screen real quick. And we have this, we have that. Okay. Double heat sinks. The engine was a light 300. Yep. We have jump jets in here. Hello, jump jets. Okay. The jump jet didn't want to stick for some reason. Double heatsink. We had endo steel in here. Double heatsink, double heatsink, double heatsink, double heatsink. Okay. Anything else? Had I forgotten? No, that seems to be everything. Just a little bit more. What? Armor on the legs? Yeah. Okay. We can leave that out. So this would be the build, right? So, this is now with a skill tree that has some operations and some firepower. Let's go test this. Right? Let's make sure we test this. Master X saying they were supposed to buff like PPC Dead Gauss, but instead they nerfed into uselessness. Yeah, it seems like it. Let's just have a look at the heat here. 1 alpha strike. I'm gonna shoot the second alpha strike right after I have cooldown. So this can do 2 alpha strikes. And then we are at about 88% heat. Bear in mind though, heavy PPC of course is gonna be a little bit warmer, so the initial alpha strike is gonna be a little bit warmer. But you will have 2 more seconds to cool down. Yeah, it's gonna win about 57%, right? And now let's compare this what happens when you don't have a skill tree. So, I'm going to remove operations and survival, everything. No skill tree, right? Is this saved though, I wonder? Oops, hang on. No, it's not saved yet. I would have to save this build, or at least save the skill tree. So I'm, you know. Let me just save this real quick. Okay. So, I'm going to remove those skill points. And we're going to save that. Let's hope this has been applied now. It still says heat reduced for some reason. Let's see if I can get this somewhere else. Maybe I'm wrong. Make us to... Oh, of course. Right. There we go. Just want to go to the testing grounds, mate. I'm not sure if this is... Ah, I'm stupid. This is just from the quirks from the mech. Of course. We're good. It's just the mech quirk. Yeah, Webmaster X, you're right. Alright. So let's see how high we get with this now. 57 was the previous number. 71%. I'm shooting at the same time again. Instant overheat. So do you see the difference between this full skill tree and this? One can do 2 shots and not overheat. This thing instantly cooks your mech after the second shot. That's not even including things like jump jetting around or whatever. And movement, because movement also adds a little bit of heat. So, that's why I'm saying these mechs need to have, from the get-go, a full skill tree. Yep, and we even damaged our CT a little bit, as you can see here. So yeah, these trial mechs should come with a full skill tree. Charles saying MASC is absolutely essential to learners. Yep. Do the Warhammer 6D trial without skill tree? It's gonna be very toasty as well. 2 seconds extra between salvos to adapt to new cooldown. Okay. I mean, it doesn't change the heat generation, but okay. We'll try it. Magno, thanks for the gifted sub to Blazer. Blame JZ is gonna have to be running on the forums. I don't think JZ has built these mechs. Okay, so shoot. 1, 2. Still overheats. And remember, these PPCs will do a little bit more heat. So yeah, not cool. And also still cooked our torso. PPC actually has a 4-second cooldown instead of 4.5. It's actually misrepresented. Okay. Interesting. Webmaster X also saying trials should have a full skill tree. Yep. But 8 more damage? Yeah, no. Those 8 more damage, yeah. Toasty. Structures a resource, use it well. Yes. Absolutely. Magno, thanks for the biddies. Alright, so what I'm seeing here from chat is basically what I've been seeing on the forums as well. I'm not going to go over that, guys. I'm going to link the whole thread below the video, but the feedback so far is not very happy. I've tried to present this in a neutral and friendly way. I think there's some good in those changes, and there's some potentially bad stuff in those changes. We'll test them out. It's gonna happen. The patch is gonna be in here tomorrow, and we're going to test it, and we'll see how things go from there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. If you're watching this on YouTube, put your comments onto these changes down in the comments below. I'm going to read them and we're going to talk about them as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.